It's Eileen here, and today I'm going to be doing a part 2 of reading some bits from my very first book, Where Snow Doesn't Fall. So let's begin. I first want to show Yen's lunchbox right here. That's her lunchbox, and in this next scene I'm going to start reading bits of chapter 7. She is complaining about not having her lunchbox, which she had in the last part of chapter 5. So let's dive right in. It was a cool lunchbox, Yen cried, shaking the chains on her swing. Why? She couldn't find it anywhere. The sun was already set, so the streetlights were on. They were far away enough that it didn't cast light onto her, but close enough that she could see the entire playground. She had no clue what day it was either. Well, it should be Friday, but the whole time zone change was messing with her head. And she didn't have a phone or anything to check. I should have put a date on my wrist gadgets. Not just a time, bruh. It wasn't cold that night, but it was unnaturally windy, and her clothes were still wet, so she ended up being cold anyway. Plus, it's not really like she could wear a jacket. It was tied underneath the playground bridge, in the very corner. I guess it's good that the rest of my clothes have less glitter on it, but it's still stuck on the camera lens. Ugh. She frowned, lying at the top of the slide. She stared up at the darkness and sighed. But I have no more money for tea. ... Time skip is what my ... are. Hello? Hello? Is anybody there? She grinned, holding her wrist gadgets close to her mouth. What? Don't left. Yesterday she spent 2 hours trying to install Yin Bin onto her wrist gadgets. It's a name for an app she made that required a really specific password puzzle to work. Then, before she would talk to those 3 boys, she turned the Bluetooth frequency on and boom. She had their communication receivers within her grasp. Hello? Hopefully she got the right radio. Frick, are you sure It's me. Where's that coming from? She burst out laughing. Sounds like it could be from Crow yelling. What are you talking about, bro? Kyle scoffed. You're literally hallucinating or something. Hi, she grinned sweetly. This Kyle or Crow? Where are you guys? Oh my god, my helmet's talking, Crow squealed. It's that goofy girl, Kyle yelled, his voice getting significantly louder. What did you do to his helmet, you helmet thief? I just connected to your radio, that's all, she grinned. And I have a name, you know. Didn't you guys say you saw me or something? How don't you know my name? She's pretty sure around the first time she met them, they were saying she took credit for their prank. That, and it also seemed like they read it somewhere. What's your name then? Crow wondered. Nacho, her grin widened. Huh? He sounded genuinely confused. Not your business, she finished with a laugh. There was an immediate groan to that, which made her laugh more. How'd you fall for that, bro? Eric, are you hearing this? She freaking hacked our radio, Kyle shouted, a bit further away from the microphone. Wait, Eric? That's his name. Yes, I got all of them now. She reached over for her... right, she deadpanned. No notebook, no lunchbox. She can remember their names. It's fine. Or maybe she really should put it somewhere. But if Eric can see everything on her screen, then she has to figure something else out. Not that she could be watching at all times. Even if he is at all. Or he can be watching at all times. She could only assume. But maybe he just sent a message, the same way she got the radio signal. It's better to be safe than sorry, so she got up and walked over to the dirt beside the playground. Dude, you just said his name, Crow shouted. Oh crap, did she hear that? No, she lied, smiling so much her face hurt. Aw, man, she freaking heard it, Kyle groaned, making her laugh more. Look, she said, using a stick with her left hand to write in the dirt. I'm just trying to get my side of the bargain, the deal, and I figured out 2 things I want to get. The other 2 things I want to get. Please. Crow whispered to Kyle. She said please. I'm actually surprised. Brett, Kyle deadpanned, before getting closer to the mic to say, No, it's the weekend, so I'm going to relax. Let's just get it done, Eric finally said. It'll be chill. We can pick up something to eat on the way back too. Yen, isn't it? What's the other two things? She laughs quietly. A set of clothes, since there's glitter all over mine, and a boba drink. The freak is a boba. Alright, we got the first picture. Oh, that's so bright. Oh, Lord. There we go. Oh, it's backwards. Okay, this spells Crow, Kyle, Eric, and she wrote it in the dirt. So, that's her written in the dirt. Okay, perspective change. You have to wear this, and this, and this, and I'm not wearing this. Who do you take me for? Well, obviously we're not going inside when you're dressed like, I don't know, an escapist. I'm not an escapist. Kyle crossed his arms with a scoff. She's so... She ended up only wearing a wig, sunglasses, a jacket, and a skirt. Let's see. Get it here. That's her outfit. There we go. That's a picture of her. This jacket is weird as frick, she commented, which infuriated him. It's one of a kind. Change your shoes, he had ordered, since she literally has one yellow ugly shoelace on. Then she told him it was gold, and he felt like he was going to lose himself. Kyle didn't want to go through with this idea to begin with, but it had to be the easiest way to get rid of that photo. He, Eric, and Crow were all dressed casually for once. No, they weren't wearing their costumes today. The plan was, disguise Yin, Eric says that's her name, get everything she needs, and then go to the corpse store. Since Kyle's pretty awesome, they're going to let him in, no question. But they will question that freaking girl if she looks like the one and only from Idol. Kyle almost wanted to create a prank in the corpse store, but pranking Yin sounded like more fun. He doesn't even want to call her by her name. It's too goofy. Goofy. She's goofy. She goofs a lot. Goof a lot. Goof a lot. Ha! She's a goof a lot. He stayed behind the rest of them until he realized they had no clue where they were going. So he had to become the leader. Wow, Kyle, how do you know where it is? I'm just built like that. In his search. Where's Cherry's boba shop? Hey, Kyle, can we also get something? I want to try whatever she's getting, Crow said cheerily, staring at the menu with intrigue. Yeah, I don't know. It probably tastes bad, he answers. The shop was weird, in Kyle's opinion. Its popular colors were pink and green, and their crappy kids' drawings on the walls. Plus, a sketchy-looking fish tank off to the side. There's one big pink fish inside it, illuminated by green light. Here we got Kyle. Sorry, I want to make sure the camera focuses. And then we got the fish in the fish tank. And he's sweating. Okay. This place looks so cool, Yin murmured in awe. He looked at her with disdain. She probably feels at home. Kyle looked to the side and saw two guys walking out of the shop. One had light blue hair pulled into a high ponytail, and the other had black hair. He shivered. It's not safe here. Okay, well, I know what I want to get, Yin smiles excitedly. Please, Crow whined, making him roll his eyes. Fine. Eric, you getting one too? Yay, Crow cheered. Eric shrugged. Sure, if you're getting one. Kyle blinked before a cheesy smile slowly spread across his face, but then it fell when he looked at Yin. What's the best thing on this menu? She laughed. Well, my favorite's the coffee. Ew, Kyle cringed. Yeah, well, keep it that way. Eric looked intrigued by the option, but kept to himself. Are you guys ready to order, or do you still need a second? By the counter, there stood a cherry brown hair guy with an orange hat. He smiled politely. I'm ready to order, but I don't know about them. Yin jabbed her thumb in their direction, making Kyle narrow his eyes. Cherry brown hair smiled. Hey, don't worry about it. We still have time before rush hour. She grinned. Thanks. Then, can I get an iced coffee with tapiocas? Of course. That's so basic, Crow teased mockingly, making her roll her eyes. Can I get coffee too? Eric questions. They stared at him before Kyle asked in surprise, You like coffee? Bro, that is such a dumb question, Crow laughed. Well, yes, Eric snorted, scratching his head. It's really good. You should know that, though. Yin was about to celebrate the fact that somebody else also liked coffee, but she paused. Eric looked nervous as he grinned at the cherry boy. Why exactly does he look nervous? Would you mind putting in a scoop of butter, please? And then they got the picture. Eric, Kyle, Crow, Yin. Her jaw dropped. The silence was excruciatingly loud. She stared at him in shock before a smile snaked its way to her face. You drink coffee with butter? Even the cherry boy was shocked, eyes equally as wide. Okay, it's not as bad as it sounds. Eric held his hands up, taking a few steps back with a laugh. Hear me out. Dude, Kyle feigns disgust and then clutches his chest. Why'd you never tell us? What is this? What are us? Eric rolled his eyes, quick to defend himself. I knew you guys would react this way. It's not even a big deal. Well, clearly, Crow laughs. I'm actually concerned for you. How do you even stomach that? And that concludes our story time. So basically, those goofballs were having fun at the boba shop. Thank you for watching, and I hope you find that interesting. And let me know in the comments, and make sure to subscribe, and see you next time. Ellie and out.